Hello everybody, it's Diane here with hopefully a scrap buster. As you can see, my scrapper paper scrap box is getting a little stuffed. So I had the thought, I made some of these years ago, but it's been a long time, to make note cards, but you could do this on a journal cover, notebook cover, squares. Yeah, we're back to the squares, aren't we? These are 1 5/8 square. If you want to do it different size, be my guest. And I know this isn't enough, but I was just cutting to make sure that was going to be the right size. So imagine one more. Okay, and then, you can, sky's the limit. Add words over it, images over it, leave it alone. Do a sewing border or sew through it. Whatever you want. But let's look and see what Diane has in her bin. That's at least 1 5/8 inches wide. It's too narrow. Okay. And then I'll go off by myself and trim. And I'm going to make as many cards as I can. If I donate them to my thrift store, then I donate them to my thrift store, whatever. But as I said, this bin is getting a little explosive. Okay. So somebody better do something about it. If I'm a little short, which I don't think is going to happen, but if I am, I could fill in with plain paper. That's perfectly acceptable. You could do all plain paper, and then you'd have a definite, or I shouldn't say definite, but more of a background where you wouldn't have all these patterns, kind of competing. Maybe we should just go through this stuff too. Like the really tiny stuff, maybe we can unload or put in a junk journal or something. I don't think that's supposed to be in here. I suppose I could do that too. That's a Easter egg dyed paper. So have you ever done anything like this? It's kind of a fun look, and unfortunately the cards that I did that to, I don't have anymore, so I can't show you. But my system was usually what I just showed you with squares, and then I would put a larger image. It's kind of like to one side. And once I'm done with this cutting, then I'll come back and we can arrange squares. Could that, be more exciting? And maybe I should sign off. We have neighbors laughing and barking, and I just listened to a lawn service for like an hour. I don't know what took them so long. Alright, well, you get the idea with this stuff. So I'm going to pause. You can go through your scrappy stuff too. And then cut a bunch of squares. Oh, I didn't say. This is 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So it winds up being 4 1/4 by 5.5. You cut it 5.5 on the 11 side. Does that make sense? And that's a standard card size. And this is just like, this is actually printer paper. It's supposed to be printer paper. But I was finding cardstock was costing more and more money, more money. So I started buying that, and I think it's fine. Because I usually put scrapbook paper and stuff on it anyway, so it bulks it up. Okay, I'm going to let my neighbors have their fun and cut a bunch of squares, and then I'll come back with you guys and we'll do some arranging, okay? Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm surrounded by a bunch of squares and some cards. I probably don't have enough cards, we'll see. But I'm not going to do all these on camera anyway. So you can do whatever you want. If I know me, I'll probably tend to go color-wise, right? And if you know me, You'll say, that's no surprise, Diane. Okay? And don't be surprised if I come across a square that's not cut properly. That's just, you know, that's just me. What can I say? You can certainly do them this way. I generally do them this way. See, kind of cool. And usually when I glue, this should be no surprise either, you know, I make them nice and neat and lined up. But you can certainly have them askew. It's kind of cool too. I have a whole lot that's blue. This is actually the Tim Holtz wallpaper. I have somewhere a couple little pieces of actual map. If you don't have a lot of scrapbook paper scraps, you can use wrapping paper, magazine, your own painted papers. What else? Junk mail even, maybe? Okay, I'll do this one. Then I'll go glue by myself. And then we'll come back and kind of finish them off. I probably will look for a focal type thing to put on, but I'm not totally sure. I mean, I know I'll at least do that on some of them. Okay, that's all you do now. Arrange your squares. I'll be back in a little bit. Hang on. Okie doke. I'm back. They're all glued. We have lucky number 13, and no squares were cut weird, and I had enough cards, so that means something's going to go wrong here, right? I printed this off my computer. You could certainly do that if you have a printer and computer. Since these are greeting cards, I might want to cut some of that out and put on. I stamped 3 images just on white printer paper. I thought that might look nice. I don't know. It's okay. It's would need something with it. So I don't know. We may or may not use that. And then I grabbed a bunch of scrapbook papers that I hope will have images on we can use. Those are a little small. I may have to matte these, put them on a color or something if they're not showing up. I may have to knock back some text. I may have to adjust my light because it's shading again. I don't know what is with this thing. It dawned on me you could use fabric too. I may add sewing when all's said and done. I did not bring up ribbon. I have washi tape. I may want to add some of that. You know, if you wanted to keep things really simple, you could just print out, like a larger hello or something and just put it right over that. You get a card. Okay, that's nice, but as you can see, it's not showing up that well, and I think it needs a companion of some sort. Which one? Well, what about the yellow? And these are just note cards, so I'm not doing anything with the interiors at all. But you could decorate those too if you would like. You could decorate envelopes if you would like. If you've seen me make cards before, you know I do often add borders or something like that on the envelope. It's kind of cute. If you could see it with my lighting. But yeah, that would definitely need a ribbon or a washi on the bottom. And they're not all perfect. See, that's not exactly lined up right. Where'd my hellos go? Here. That was quick. She lost that in a hurry. How about a older one? I will say these are a tad small. You could put these on a color too. Colored paper. How do you put something on a color? It's not too bad. It's not perfect. I just made it worse. Okay. Not bad. Yeah, well, that definitely needs a ribbon or something on the bottom. These are probably too busy. As I mentioned earlier, you know, you could stitch around. That would be good. Marker a border around. You could certainly knock these back with gesso too. That would be more than acceptable. Oh, that's torn. I thought it was cut. Alright, they're both torn. Oh, did you open your glue yet? No. I can't see. It's in the dark. Well, it is very dark here anyway. It was raining and it stopped, but it's getting dark again, so I don't know if it's going to start up again. Yeah, we were in a real dry pattern and now we're kind of in a rain pattern. I think I would like a sun up there, and I just saw my sun paper. Here it is. Oh, I found it. I'm so impressed. I think the circular one. Maybe I'll even leave this out in case we want it again. It also crossed my mind these would be really good, you know, format for holiday. I might even make a few Christmas ones like this because I have some Christmas scraps, I know. I also made some little mini notebooks with scrapbook paper covers recently to use up scraps. That's good. Oh, that doesn't show up a lot. What do you think? It's okay. I don't know. I don't know, so I'm going to put that aside. But that's okay. Okay. Maybe we'll knock backs with gesso. I don't know. Well, this is more neutral, although it has gnomes on it, so it's a little funky. What about, this is old paper. Well, from the desk of, that would be appropriate. Alright, I won't fussy cut this. That would be kind of cute. Well, that could use flowers or something like that with it. And I would not put on words because we have words. Those are cute, but they're too bright. can't see. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it. You've seen all these before. I think that's a little too fussy. Might be okay. Yeah, it's okay. My dog's running to the window. There must be a squirrel or something there. Well, that color does not match. Well, what about a leaf? And this one. And then I would definitely put washi or ribbon on the bottom of that too. Oh, I think it was a chipmunk. In case you really are wondering what it was. Not really, Diane. Alright, something with that. And then, I don't know if I have a washi or I'll wait for ribbon. This would be kind of cute, but I don't think black. No. Okay, that can get ribbon. Okay, that's kind of cute. Alright, how long is this taking? That's 10 minutes. Here's a more neutral one. Well, I noticed this bike image, or this house. Maybe the bike. It's simpler. I think it would stand out better. And of course this one is going to come with it. Okay, I don't think we need the name there. What does this say? The rover is a pioneer of the present day cycle. Okay. If you say so. That's good. Needs inking. If you hear barking, that's a neighbor dog. It's not my dog. No, I think that should go right in the middle. Okay. We need a greetings or something. Which I think this one. And I would ink that up. Alright, pretend that's cut out. And inked. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That, I'm envisioning stitching around that. You want a washi on the bottom? Too busy. I don't really have brown washi. I used to have a nice brown and off-white floral I really liked, and I used it a lot, and I used it up. Oh, that's okay. And I never replaced it. Oh, I have this. This is brown. It's a little too wide. Okay. Alright, people. You get the idea. What I'm doing, it's a main image and then kind of a little accessory stuff. I may sew on some of these. I may add ribbon. But I'll come back and let you see what they look like. Get on there. Okay, hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, we're all done here. I think these first three is what I started with before. So I put sewing around this one, washi on the bottom. Some of these more vintage looking ones I did ink around the edges. This one I did not. that has a marker border around the edge. That one, I wound up moving the sun over. You definitely could gesso over this. I did on a couple, I'll point out. But, you know, it's okay. Same with that one. It's kind of cute. That's one of the rubber stamp images. Now this one, I put a little gesso on this section because it's kind of competing with that house. There's one of the rubber stamps with other images. It's kind of cool. It crossed my mind too. I have made these where I put like an image as a square, you know, eliminate a square and put a square image there, and then just have hello or something under it. That's definitely doable, a little easy too. Sewing around this one. That one's pretty. I like that one. Sewing. And then sewing on the top. And I did add the hello on the typewriter paper there. It was off my, you know, sheet. There's a little gesso here and over here. A little under there too. Okay, using up scraps to make note cards. And I will say my scrap box really doesn't look that much smaller, so I don't know. I have to come up with something else yet. Okay, thanks for watching everybody. Hope you have a good day.